if you're somebody that's really trying to build phenomenal arms, it's all about making sure you do triceps. Make sure you get your tricep training in, because triceps make up majority of the arm. But that does not necessarily mean that you should be slacking on bicep exercises. You still want to train your biceps, because biceps are going to be important when you're doing pull-ups, like pull downs, rows, and do understand that a little bit of extra strength in your biceps is going to make a tremendous difference when it comes down to you being able to pull some of this weight in those particular movements. So just make sure you don't fall short of your bicep training, but do understand if you want nice arms, I'm talking about phenomenal arms, do understand I think you should focus a little bit more on triceps, because triceps make up more of your arm. Like I said, don't slip on your bicep exercises. As you can see, I love doing biceps itself, but like I said, I love doing biceps to be able to make sure I'm getting more out of my back exercises, not just for the arm development itself. So do understand the difference between those. And what we about to hit, as you can see, we about to go ahead and hit another bicep exercise. This is actually one of my favorites. Main reason why I love this particular exercise is because it allows me to come up higher without having to hit myself in the face. So if you in the Golds and Glen Burnie area and you want something that's gonna give you the preacher curl feel and a better range of motion where you can squeeze at the top. Look at that range of motion. This is something this is not hit me in the face. Anytime I come this high with a regular bicep machine, like a preacher curl machine, anything like that, guess what happens right now? I'm getting hit in the forehead with a goddamn bar. So do me a favor and make sure if you have access to a machine like this, man, you gotta utilize this shit right here, man. And some of us think we need to do like 10, 15, 12 reps in order to develop muscle. Do understand, you can still develop muscle with 8 reps, 10 reps, you know what I'm saying, 12 reps when doing high repetitions. Because of the amount of volume, you are going to lose out on some of the gains that you can get. So that's why I like to kind of keep it within that 8 to 13. I don't really like doing under 8 reps. That's just me personally. I think a lot of the movements you should be able to capitalize at least 8 reps, because 8 reps do show a little bit of strength, but more so power itself. Do understand once we start getting to 10 to 15, that shows strength. After 15, do understand, that's just endurance. So that's why I say I'm not a big fan of doing 30, 40, 50 reps, but at the end of the day, I do like making sure that my body is conditioned, because I want to be able to handle myself being thrown in any position. So that's why I train the way that I do. I'm more so of a hybrid of different things. I love bodybuilding, but I do understand that when building an adequate amount of muscle, when you're trying to perform a certain way, you can't have lack there in performance, because the primary focus will be to develop and build muscle. So do understand, you don't always have to go super heavy with weight in order to build an adequate amount of muscle. Another thing I like doing is some of the calisthenic movements. A few of my favorites would be weighted pull-ups. That's one that I've incorporated since the beginning of the time. Once Jew introduced me to weighted pull-ups, I took them out for a little bit. I was starting to experience a lot of stress in my shoulders from doing pull-ups all the time. Because at one point, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I used to do pull-ups every day, and I don't recommend doing pull-ups every day. I don't recommend that at all. And that's another reason why I took it out. I scaled out of it for a long period of time. And I'm gonna have to end up doing that with my squats soon too, because I do that a lot with squats. Squats is my favorite movement, because I like that pass out feeling that you get when you're doing squats. But I have noticed at the end of the day that squats can be very taxing when you do the amount of volume that I do. Like I said, this is the 3rd time I hit legs this week, like the 3rd time. That's why I couldn't go up to 315. My body couldn't handle it today, which is not a problem. At the end of the day, you just got to know what works for you, when to put certain things in, when to take certain things out. That's actually how you build longevity, and it's all about longevity for me. That's what I try to get people to understand. It's not about just being able to lift a certain amount of weight. I want to make sure that upon me lifting this weight, I can still build longevity. I can still focus on longevity. I don't want to experience a lot of unnecessary aches, pains, and things to that nature just because of years of improper training. That's the main reason why I focus on form and technique first. And then afterwards, once I develop form, once I develop better technique, Then I will go up with the weight because I know that the body is conditioned enough to be able to handle that weight. And I know what things to avoid when performing and executing the movement. So that's very important to understand. A lot of us may miss that. Like I said, it's not just about pushing a certain amount of weight. And that's another reason why I always tell y'all to make sure you develop a better mind and muscle connection, because there's a lot of people that are just moving and lifting weight, but it's not a lot of people that are actually allowing their muscles to absorb the weight throughout their entire movement. So that's very important to understand, mainly if you want to build a great physique. You need to develop and build mind and muscle connection. Until then, you just moving for real, for real. No mind and muscle connection. In reality, you just moving. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. But we about to get back to it. That was the first one was super light. I didn't even realize I had this shit on 30. But like I said, don't make super drastic leaps when it comes down to exercises like arms, triceps, sometimes chest, depending on where you are with your chest press and things of that nature. I like to make tremendous leaps and legs, just like I said, because my body can handle it. But when it comes down to other muscle groups outside of back, I'm kind of like slow stepping it the whole way. But with that said, let's get back to it. Trying to tell you, man. Ain't nothing like training arms.